Hey everybody!
Welcome to the Way Podcast, a journey to an unconventional life. The podcast where future wealth builders come to get inspired by the top 1% of producers and future trillionaires. So today we're going to be talking about another special person, another special subject, someone very inspirational to you.
First of all, I'm Michael Lamely.
Here I go again. My name is Chris Pentecost. Nice to meet you all.
In today's episode, we talk about Grant Cardone. For those who don't know him, he's a real estate investor, also the speaker, a writer, and basically he have multiple stream of income, as we like to talk about. And
best way to gain that income.
Yeah, and it's been a non-conventional life for him. Because, you know a little bit of the story. Maybe you want to elaborate on that?
Sure thing. So one of the main things I found myself relating to him with is he was a drug addict up until he was 25. He was stuck on alcohol, weed, other drugs that were really messing up his life, and he'd always blame others while hating himself for why his life was the way that it was. It became inspirational after 25 because the video you showed me, he told me a story about Philip.
Yeah, I mean, he thought it was the name. He don't remember that well, but it's just he went to rehab, and there he spent like a couple week, and when he got out of there, he said like, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna be rich, and I'm gonna be like successful. And the guy just basically told him like, well,
you're too grandiose.
Yeah. Forget those ideas, and
you're not gonna make it anywhere. And that's when he got the fire under him, where he's just like, "Oh, well, forget you. I'm gonna do it now."
Yes, and then to show himself that he's able to do it, and so he put his mind to it, and that's a proof that what the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve also. And so I think that what he thought about that. After that he went to rehab, he said, I was doing 10 drugs 10 times a day. So I'm gonna do like 10 times a day to keep busy. Like he said like he wanted to keep himself busy, to not think about doing drugs, to not think about drinking alcohol. And so he just went into sales, and then start like, even if he didn't like it, just push the limit and do it 10 times, and just so that he can.
That's incredibly smart. I'm gonna go off on a brief tangent.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you said his best way on how he got off of his drug addiction, because his drug addiction was 10 drugs 10 times a day, and to get over that he would keep busy with 10 items 10 times a day to keep himself busy. That is by far one of the best ways to get off of drug addiction. They did an experiment on lab rats. They did 2 experiments, one in the 70s and one in the 90s. The one in the 70s, they had 2 bottles of water inside a cage full of lab mice. One bottle was just regular water, the other one was laced with cocaine.
Okay.
So when they let the lab mice in there, they let them do their thing, and then when the test was finished, a majority of the rats had OD'd from the cocaine-laced water. Now they tried this experiment again in the 90s, except instead of just having them in one cage, all crammed up together, they made what was called lab mouse heaven.
Okay.
Filled with tunnels, exercise wheels, a whole room full of grain and good food, just anything they could use to occupy their time. But they still had the same 2 bottles. They had the cocaine laced and the regular water bottle. The regular water bottle was completely empty by the end of the experiment. Barely, I think it was 0.02% of the lab mice actually touched the cocaine water, and none of them OD'd. It's a matter of keeping yourself busy.
Keep your mind active on something like productive instead of
on something else, instead of thinking for that next drive, that next high. It's really an inspirational thing, because I used to be a drug addict, and the way I got over that was generally the same way. I would keep my mind busy with other things. I would draw, I would write, creative stuff in that sense. But then when it came to outside world, I would fall back into my old pits only because I would find myself being bored. I would not have anything productive that I was doing, and nothing that was really intriguing my mind. So I do agree with that aspect. I think
that's a great thing that you realize that yourself also. Like
It's
like to find a way out of that and just to keep pushing to the things that good for us. And
it is definitely very hard because especially with some drugs, there's definitely a physical aspect to it.
Yes.
But as long as you keep that mind busy, it's a lot easier to get over the hump than it is if you're stuck inside your own mind in your home, cooped up as if.
yes.
And I'm hoping this inspires you to take advice from Grant Cardone as far as like
Yes.
getting to where you want to be in life, becoming an inspiration.
And you'll put link in the description also.
Of course,
the,
for his videos,
yes.
as well as I believe he has a website as well.
Yes, you have a website for investment, but we'll come to that a little bit later.
Okay.
But so basically another thing that I want to say about him later on his life, so that was a little bit about his past life, but lately he did a show, Undercover Billionaire. For those who watch the show, who doesn't watch the show, who didn't watch the show yet.
Who didn't watch the show.
Right term.
Second language.
Yeah. So basically he went in a city that he didn't know anybody, with $100, an old truck and a cell phone, and the goal was to build a business that will be valued at $1 million after 90 days. So basically he went in a city that he didn't know anybody, and he succeeded. Actually, he more than succeed. He reached out a valuation of 5.5 million, I think.
Dang.
In 90 days, but he got like, I watched the show, so I was impressed, and I was learning about it, like how he did and everything, because that was during COVID. So he went there, he got like
Well, you should have started with that.
yeah. He went there and then got like into a little RV, found a place to live, found a place like to do all these things, but then COVID hit after a couple of days, so he needed to go back. He just started like making contact and everything, and then needed to go back because of COVID was shutting down everything.
Mhm.
And then go back later. He wrote down an offer for a multifamily building like worth a couple million, and did a presentation to a bunch of guys that he met there, like at
Just
the
a
bar.
bunch of random
Yes,
people.
he talked to the barber shop and then asked them like people who got money in the city, and so he assembled those people. But then the people didn't trust him enough at that time because like
He's brand spanking new.
yes, but he was knowing about what he was talking about, but he just didn't succeed like gaining the trust
And
of-
convincing.
yes,
Yes.
because that was a huge deal. Like he asked like $1 million for the people, and so I think the idea was good behind it, and he was so pissed about it in the show because he was thinking, dang, if I was Grant, because he went undercover, so it wasn't his real name.
Yeah.
And so he said like if I was Grant Cardone, like I could do it.
Could have done all of that,
Yes.
but you aren't Grant Cardone. That's the whole purpose of the show.
Yes, and I think that he might have bought it under the scene, like off camera. Maybe that's my yeah.
Potentially, if he knew it was gonna be lucrative, he's not gonna let that
Yes,
go.
because like the guy said that another person bid on it and finally got it. So yeah, I don't know if it was like him behind the scene. Like maybe if you know Grant Cardone, leave us a comment and tell us. If you know.
Potentially, but that is a little shady.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's just that he was so pissed. So I was thinking maybe he would bought it like on the side, like
just offhand, like,
yes.
hey, by the way, I'm Grant Cardone. Can you give me that for like $2 million?
Anyway, so yeah, so that was his first idea, but then it didn't succeed. Then he started doing some marketing for a guy who was having like a multiple business, like a gym, a mattress place, and everything.
Okay.
So then he got the idea of starting a marketing agency. So he, with the help of the other businessman there, he went to multiple business and then sold the marketing contract to the business, and the guy already had a team for marketing, so he was using his team, and then he grew the business to what it was worth 5.5 million, and then he, after the show, basically they said well, I'm Grant Cardone, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So now this
Rip the
business,
mustache off.
yeah, this business is like now 10x under the seal of 10x kind of. So now the business has grow like
Oh, so his whole brand is 10x.
yes, kind of like for marketing and everything. Yes.
Okay. Well, that actually goes back to a point that we've spoken on before, where he had to partner with another businessman, someone who had a foothold, in order to expand that to the next level.
Yes.
For almost every situation, you're going to need communication. You're going to need connections.
Yes. Connection is the key,
Key.
to expand your network and.
So don't ever think, if you have an amazing idea, don't ever think you can just build it up yourself, because you're going to
Yes.
need help along the way.
Yeah, like us, like.
We found each other.
Yes.
No
I mean,
homo.
I've thought like about getting to a podcast and everything before. I
As
thought
have I.
about that also, and then we just discussed about that, and we decided to do it.
And now here we are.
Yes.
Uh,
Let's go back to Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
So and then so that's for that, and also he owned like real estate. He's a real estate investor, worth 5 billion of real estate. And what is interesting is that he's using other people's money.
Mhm.
So that's a good way to do deals in real estate, because if you put your own money, then your money is kind of somewhere that you cannot touch. But if you're using other people's money, well, you could use your money to leverage and whatever.
However you wish, you could add into the investments you already have, or you could use it into other investments that haven't been made yet. In fact, you do a very similar thing. If you look at Michael's TikTok, you've seen his his advantage and disadvantages in the real estate business, the entrepreneurial world. And one of the subjects you talk about is Toro.
Yes.
I believe we've talked about this on the podcast before, but you use Toro to basically make your car payments. You bought your cars, and you've paid off the initial down payment, and now you're using Toro to pay off the car payments every month, which is incredibly smart. Kudos.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's unpractical because we don't have a car, but
right.
We live close for everything, and so we just adjust ourselves. That's not the best business idea, but it's just like a way to create income, passive income kind of.
Yeah, but car is a full-on necessity. That's why they have two vehicles. Not only are they doubling their income from Toro, but sometimes they'll just have the one car out, and they'll have the other car to be able to use.
And I feel like it's like a reward, because when the car is gone for like 1 week, then we get it again. It's like brand new, so
it's like, hey,
yeah, I got a car now.
They cleaned the car. I got gas in it. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Do they have to fill it up when they bring it back?
Yes.
Okay. Dope.
Yes. And it needs to be clean. Otherwise their fee and everything. So yeah.
So you actually get paid more.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Don't mess up cars on Toro.
Yeah.
But going back to the subject of Grant.
Yes. So yeah, he owns like 5 billion of worth of real estate as of right now, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he said like in the next couple of years he wants to grow to 40 billion or 50 billion of worth of real estate.
I could see that.
Without using banks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. So he wants to raise, I think, 10 billion. From the latest things that I saw, if I remember well, he wanted to raise 10 billion worth of money to buy real estate from like people. So let's say you have like I don't know. He got a website for that. Also, maybe you can put it.
I'm gonna put that link in the description as well.
Cardone Capital, and that's where people can go on the website and invest with him. And yeah, that's how. And he give back money to people after like a certain time, like depending on the project and stuff like that. So I've never invested myself, and it's not an invitation to invest, but it's just the thing that he's doing.
It's a full-on invitation. If you want to support the people that we're talking about them for a reason. Feel free to take a look for yourself. If you feel like you should help out in this endeavor, or just support him in general, feel free to do that. I have the options open in the description. But that also goes for us as well, because we're still up and coming as well. So don't forget about us. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button.
Yes.
Leave a comment on what you want us to do. Anyways.
Yes, exactly. Because now we just talk about people we want to talk about. But if there's someone you would like us to give our opinion on that, well, we can do that as well. Because it's an open conversation here. So yeah, I think that's a great guy. I didn't met him, but.
You said his main source of income at the moment is real estate?
I mean, you got multiple sources of income. So
yes, but
he's a speaker, he's a real estate investor, book writer, so we got income from all those places.
Right, he's an author. How many books does he have?
I don't remember, but the video we watched, he was at 7. That was a couple years ago though, so maybe you got some new one coming up.
Fair.
So maybe you have to look it up for yourself. We didn't do our homework on that, unfortunately. But yeah, he wrote a couple books.
And you said he's like a public speaker. So what I'm getting from this, he's actually very similar to another person we talked about a couple episodes ago, Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes, they don't suggest the same type of investment.
Right.
Because Robert Kiyosaki is more about teaching how to invest people and how to start in life. Like start with a small unit and start like growing your real estate portfolio slowly and gradually. Grant Cardone is more go big or go bigger. You know,
yeah.
That's what he said in the
go
TV
bigger.
show. Yeah,
Go bigger. I like that.
Yes. Or the other thing that he was saying during the Undercover Billionaire is, "Who's got my money?"
Who's got my money?
Yeah.
Someone's got it. We're gonna make it happen.
Yes.
I like that.
So yeah, that's the thing.
He seems very bombastic, very, very eager and strong-headed to get to his goals.
Yeah.
I believe one of his books was called "Be Obsessed or Be Average."
Yeah.
So that's the whole key behind his whole concept is if you see an opportunity, jump on it right then and there. Don't wait. Don't miss out. Do whatever you can to jump on that opportunity that you see. And if it doesn't feel like it's working out, make it work out. Because you have the power to do that. Just like how he had the power to stop himself at 25, yes. How he had the power to build up to a $5 million profiteering company, how he had the mindset to get all these different real estates, all these different sources of income. Yep. He was a bit flashy on the video that I saw, but that's okay. He has the reasoning behind it. He's done a lot of work to get where he's at.
That's not like the flashiness, like it's more the word that he's spreading outside, like, you know, it's just
is that
inspirational. Yeah, he's inspirational. Like, you want to help the people like get better at what they do and like be successful. Because he said in the video, like, I was a loser, like not because like people were telling that to me, but because I knew it inside, like I was a loser, but
because he hated himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now he's in a situation where his whole life changed, and I think that's.
As far as he says in the videos, he doesn't do drugs anymore or alcohol, so that's another big benefit. He doesn't have those distractions keeping him from, or at least he has controlled distractions, so he doesn't feel like he's wasting his time. Because every moment you're awake, every moment that you're up and breathing, is a moment that you could be using for progress, a moment that you could be using to continue on to that next big step. And it may take a couple months, it could take a couple of years.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, as long as you're working towards your biggest goal, you'll be able to make it. Just keep up that influence and keep on pushing.
Yeah, I think that's good. That resume of what the story is about.
Yeah, I picked up a lot from this guy. I mean, I've only watched a couple of videos, but I'm straight up gonna put his YouTube in the description, as well as his website, other sources that he has available. But that's
I think we made what we have to say with
So if you enjoyed the topic that we talked about today, feel free to like the video. If you enjoy other topics like this, hit that subscribe button. If it's red, that means you haven't subscribed yet. Make sure to hit that notification bell right next to it as well. If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to leave a comment below. We are striving for content, so feel free to let us know. We have like 2 or 3 lists of people we want to talk about, so we're doing pretty well on that, but please let us know of anybody that you'd like us to hear. Check out our socials; those are available at the bottom of the description. We're doing pretty well on TikTok right about now.
Yeah, I think
that's mostly funny content. So if you enjoy the funny content, we post those as shorts on here every day, and as TikToks every day over on TikTok, the way a podcast.
Yeah.
So other than that,
have a good day.
See you later.